So if y'all are interested, I know a lot of you all already filled out the questionnaire for that accountability group. So we will be working on this week to try to partner you all with some other people. So I'm hoping it will be a good experience for you all. The people that I'm in the accountability group with, they have nothing to do with our organization. They're not in my org, they're not in Love's org, they're completely random. They're all under different nationals. And I just happened to, when we went to the February director thing, I had known of, I don't know if y'all know who Corey Ellis is, but Corey Ellis was the chick that signed up and promoted to executive in 8 months. Like, she beat everybody's record. She was like blazing trails. And so I had known about Corey being, phenomenal. And I tried to connect with her in Prague, and then it was just crazy, whatever. So I didn't. And I saw her at that retreat, and I'm like, hey, Corey. And she's like, oh, you know who I am? I'm like, yeah. And I was like, would you like to be a part of an accountability group? She's like, you want me to be a part of your group? I'm like, yeah. And so she was super excited. I was super excited. And then I knew of another executive, and she knew of another executive that wanted to, be in a group. And so, I mean, we have really gelled. And y'all, what I love so much about it, though, is that we all have the same values, and we really are, working hard to put God in our business and make sure that he's, front and center. And how do we work our business with that in mind, and, our team in mind, and all that. So a lot of times we get on the call and we just talk about, how are we doing life? Like, how are we fitting everything in? And, yes, we talk about our struggles, but it's not a gripe fest, right? So there's a difference in that. There's a difference in being relatable, as long, like, if you talk about your struggles and then how you're going to overcome them is great. That's what you want to do. But if, you're getting on and all people are doing is complaining and moaning, and this company's that, and we could never do this and whatever, get out of that. Don't even waste your time on that. So with that being said, that's not the purpose of this call today, but I just thought that would be a good opportunity for you all. So we'll be working on that the next couple of weeks. Make sure you fill out that survey. And so hopefully you all have as great of an experience as I will. And then something else that's neat too is that, we're all going to be traveling to Puerto Rico. So we're going to like have dinner together and hang out. So you have a whole nother network of friends too, which is cool. Speaking of, Joni, I still have to look at that thing. I have not looked at it since we spoke. I know there's things to do, y'all, but I'm going to Croatia in like 8 days. So that's my priority right now. I haven't even figured out what I'm doing in Croatia, much less Puerto Rico or the conference. So, all right. So what I constantly hear from all directors, all team members, all consultants over the history of time is, how do I balance everything? How do I fit it in? Do I have the answer for you? No, but I do have some ideas. So I thought, why not? Let's talk about that today. And how can we really work our business smarter, not harder? And y'all know the last time, well, I don't know, one of these calls that we were on, I was talking to you all about how, when we were working for National, I was putting in like all my energy, all my time, all my everything. And that it was probably a year, at least a solid year worth of time, that I was just busting my butt. And I was excited. It was fun. It was energetic. It was all of the things. And then we took the promotion. And by that point, all the work and the time and the effort that I was putting in had become a habit. And so after we took our promotion, I kept going at that rate. And then it kind of hit me, wait a minute. Now, what happened to the time with your family? What happened to the time that you were, going to your church group? What happened to that time that was only supposed to be a short period of time, and then it went into like everyday life? So I, as much as anybody else, needs to really work on my schedule and do some time blocking. So what we're going to talk about today is some time management tips to boost productivity. Okay. And how can we fit? We're not going to fit everything in, but how do we determine what's important and what really should be on our calendar, and how do we fit the most important things in? So I've come up with 5 tips for you to help balance your family life, church, whatever personal stuff you have going on. So the first one is to make sure that you are setting clear goals. And I know y'all have heard this before, like from the company, from me, from Love, wherever, there's a goal that has to be worked towards, right? If not, we don't really know the purpose of what we're doing. We're just doing it, right? Well, Jennifer told me I had to do it, so I just got to do it, but I don't really know why. So first of all, and I know we've talked about this, and some of you all want to, you're saying, oh, I want to promote to advanced director, or I want to be senior director, or I want to go on this trip, or whatever. Okay, that's great, but we need to make it, first of all, your goals have to have a deadline. Okay, if you just say, I want to be advanced director, okay, when do you want to be advanced director? Because if it doesn't have an end date, then it could just be whenever. It could be 2030. I want to be advanced director in 2030. No, that's not okay. Right. So write down, and I know, Kelsey, you have your hands full, so you can keep it in your brain till you have hands available. But everybody else, I want you to write down, what is your goal and when do you want to accomplish it? Okay. Now I want you to think of 2 different dates. I want you to think of a general date that you would like for it to happen. And then I want you to think of a date that you would not be okay with it being passed. So for example, I would love to, I would love to be advanced director by conference. No, okay. Yeah, because that would be, what are we in? April? No, we're in March. March, April, May, June. So you'd have to take your title in June, July 1st, I think, to be recognized at conference. So I want to be X title by conference. Okay, so that's your first goal. But then your no less than goal would be by September. I don't know. Y'all, that's just very vague. At our systems and our plans and our, things that we've been doing in our company, easily advanced director can happen in 1 month or 2 months. It absolutely can. So I wouldn't even stretch it out that far. I would maybe say, my goal is to be advanced director by May 1st. My latest stretch goal would be by conference, right? So I can be recognized at conference. Now, when you're looking at promoting to senior director, you have to have 3 first gen and 1 second gen. So that possibly is going to take a little bit longer, right? If it's not even necessarily a promotion goal, but maybe a sales goal, I want to make X amount of dollars by this amount. Like you have to have a target date on it. I know one person was telling me that she wants to make $100,000 this year. Perfect. Let's do that. We have this big goal, 12 months. And then what do we have to do every single month in order to make that happen? So same thing with your promotion. If you want to work towards advanced director by May 1st, that means that first of all, you're going to have to find a rock star on your team, help identify that. And then you have to work with that rock star every week to help them increase sales, find recruiting, things like that. So you break that down into a weekly goal. All right. So we set clear goals with a timeline in mind. And you need to have a clear routine. When are you most productive in the day? I don't like to get up early. However, I am the most productive when I do things earlier in the day, right? Because if I try to work when my family's home, it's not getting done. Or if it is getting done, it's halfway or it's very distracted, right? Well, some of you all may work during the day, so that can't be your work time. Well, it can maybe, but we won't say. So maybe some people don't like their mind's not clear in the morning, so you work more efficiently in the evening. If that's your best time, most efficient time, then set your hours at that time of the day. If it's nap time, if it's lunchtime, if it's right after work, whatever, you need to make sure that you know what your work time is going to be, and it needs to be the same every single week. So when I would do cooking shows, my family knew that I was gone from my house on Tuesdays and Thursdays. It was just a thing. All my family knew, oh, it's Tuesday, mom's not going to be home. That they knew that, I knew that. And if I had a day that I did not have a show on a Tuesday or Thursday, I was shut in my office working or at my desk or whatever. I'm like, pretend like I'm not here, because I would typically be gone. But since I'm not gone, I'm going to be making money from my desk. So we don't really have that now, right? I mean, you can still do cooking shows if you want to, but if your time to work is going to be from 2 to 4 on Monday and Wednesday, that needs to be the same every single week. So then not only is that becoming a routine for you, but it's becoming a routine for your family. And it also respects those boundaries of, this is work time, this is family time. And that's where I was getting out of that habit, because I used to be very strict and very good about, maintaining my business life and then turning it off and having my family life. And then when we were working on the promotion, I was like, oh, this is going to be a temporary thing. And then it, extended, because it came a habit. After you do things for a certain amount of time, you just automatically do it because it's a habit. So make sure I would recommend on your paper, write down, when am I going to be most productive? What are my working hours going to be? So you all, now I drop my kids off at school at 8 o'clock. I'm home by 8:30. I sit at, and this is just me. Your life is going to look different, but I sit at my desk and I do my work until 2 o'clock when I have to go pick up my daughter. Now, one thing I need to schedule into my life is some little mini breaks, right? Because do you know that you can only efficiently stay focused? This says 90 minutes. Okay, so I was doing some research online. It says 90 minutes. I'm like, 9 minutes, but it's my brain is 9 minutes. If lucky, it'll stay focused for 9 minutes. But every 90 minutes, you need to schedule buffer time. And buffer time is really important too, because sometimes the tasks that you're doing ahead of that need time to process. So for example, maybe I'm spending from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock booking shows. And when I'm spending that time booking shows, I'm not sending messages. I'm not sending host specials. I'm not checking my email. I'm not doing anything else. I'm just booking shows. And so then I need a little bit of time after I've booked shows to then send the emails or the host specials, or write them down on my calendar, or, get them set up and whatever I have to do. Right. So you need like your paperwork time after your task. So that's one of the other things, is to give your buffer between tasks. So, and it said, and then it said also to take like a brain break, which I don't know. I'm weird on that. I feel like if I'm in my work mode, I want to stay in it, but I am going to really try to set a timer to get up and kind of walk around, or, because I will sit in my chair from 2 o'clock, from 8 o'clock, 8:30 until 2 o'clock, and then not get up to eat or I mean, I'll get up to go to the bathroom, but you know what I'm saying? Like I get so focused, it's not really healthy for me or whatever. So another way to boost your productivity is to avoid distractions. So if you are in your host coaching time and that's what you're supposed to be doing, you need to turn off all the other distractions, like this thing. That ding, 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 right? I mean, anybody else sit at your desk and Facebook is dinging the heck out of you, like all you, and do you know every time that a computer or a phone dings, it resets your thinking pattern. So I could be in the middle of doing something and I don't remember how many seconds it is, but you lose that much time every time it dings because your mind stops what it's doing and goes to the ding. And tell me you don't think, I wonder who that is. I wonder what it is. Oh, I can't check that now. And that's 5 seconds you just wasted because you were thinking about who's dinging you, right? So there is a way on your Facebook, on your computer, turn off the dings on the notifications. Close down your email, turn off your text. When you are doing one activity, focus solely on that. And then in that buffer period, or, and we'll talk about this in a little bit, scheduling in the time to check the dings. Okay, because if we're checking on dings all day, guess what will happen? We won't do anything but check the dings. And you know, every time you reply to one ding, you get 1 or 2 more back. So you're like in this endless cycle of replying to messages. So avoid the distractions, close tabs, text, Facebook. That also means, you know, the dryer. Oh, the dryer went off. Let me go fold the clothes real quick. Like I have to be very conscious of, let me do that on my family time or when I'm out of work, not working time, because I work in my house. There's always something in my house that needs to be done, right? And if I'm distracted by that every single time, I won't get anything done, any work done. All right, and then the 5th thing is to prioritize. You want to create a job list and then prioritize it. So I want us to spend some time today talking about, what does our job look like? What are things that we have to do in our business every day or every week? Let's start brainstorming. Y'all can unmute. Tell me some things that you have to do in your Pampered Chef business.
Host coach.
Yep.
Set up, well, some of us do, some of us don't, but host coach, setting up parties.
Right.
Sorry,
Getting
baby
bookings,
was
recruiting.
Getting bookings and recruiting. Yep.
Trying to motivate those that need a firecracker under their you-know-what on your team.
Mm-hmm. So y'all start writing these down too. We have to, well, first of all, let's start at the beginning. We have to book shows, right? And then when you have shows, you have to host coach. And then you have to work in your parties, right? You have to send friend requests. You have to send private messages to your guests, to your rock stars, ordering messages. You have to do outside of show reach outs, right?
mail host packets.
Yes.
Happy mail.
Yeah, the tedious mails, right? So whether you're sending physical paper host packets or you're sending a virtual host packet, that's time that you're using in your business that needs to be scheduled. What about happy mail? Okay, well, we'll talk about Teams in a minute. Hold on that. Just for your personal business. What about scheduling on social media? Scheduling in your VIP page on your business, if you're, actively using your business page. We talked about setting up the parties in Pampered Chef on Facebook.
Creating photos.
Yes, that was something on my list too, is creating the original content for your party. So do you use Canva? Do you use Pic Collage? Whatever it uses. You all, how often have you got into Canva to make one quick thing and 2 hours later you're piddling around making these pretty pictures?
That's why I
Okay,
don't.
Jolie's like, I just have Jessica do that for me.
That's my secret. I do a monthly template. Okay. So every month, I know Leah said the other night on the Monday night call, she has one template for one catalog. I don't roll like that. The creative person in me is like, I get tired of seeing the same games and the same recipes. So
Right.
we have a deal for those of you that don't know. Yes, Jessica is my creative behind the scenes with some pictures. I've done some. Tell them, Jessica, I've made a couple, but I don't have time for that. I don't have time
Right.
for that. Just so we trade off. I do templates.
That's right.
Just
That's
Canva.
right.
It's
Good trade.
it's
Bad with words. Words are hard for me. They're not hard for Joni. So, you know, we are married and have
Okay, so one of another thing on the tips to being productive is delegating. So that would be fall in that category of delegating or information swap. Because all of us should not be creating pictures when we could share them in our group, right? So those are some things we need to think about as well. Okay, so right now we're talking about daily tasks or weekly tasks that have to be done in your business. So that's just your personal business. Anything else in your personal business?
Well, I was just going to add, and I'm not trying to be rude, but trying to keep up with all of our chats, calls. I mean,
Yes.
I love but
Okay.
that, but the ding, I'm like, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So that is a whole nother category that needs to go in your things to do with checking messages, checking text, and checking emails. That needs to be a time slot in your day. Okay, because
Hard to do.
huh?
I mean, it's hard to just set like, with my job. So I'm going to say, okay, I have a window from 11:30 to 12. I'm going to catch up on all the messenger chat. By then I'm like 5 hours behind on filling out a form or telling my consultant stuff. And like even today, Jessica Ellsworth's girl Pin put in the new customer chat or consultant chat, as well as you did, about the new thing about the cake pan and the oil thing. I have looked on that Pampered Chef Facebook page, to try to copy and paste exactly. I can't find it. I spent 10 minutes today just trying to scroll.
Right. Yeah.
So
So you want to think about also another thing that needs to go into your business is being up to date on information. So is that reading through the STIR, looking through the website, reading on the director success page or the consultant scoop or whatever you all, and you need to make these a line item in your, I would say in your budget, in your calendar. And when you give it an allotted amount of time, it only gets that time. So if you say information, like learning information, and you give it a 30-minute window, you need to cut it off at 30 minutes, because we can go into the STIR and start reading this, and then we find this and we start reading that, and then we start reading this, and then we go to check this, right? So then an hour and a half later, we're way beyond the time we really should have allotted for that. All right, anything else in your personal business that you can think of that has to be done each week?
Making food and videos we still got to.
Okay, yeah.
We still got to work the product. So.
Okay, yeah. So mine has like this much time in making the food, but yes, it probably should be a thing. It probably should be a time that I make, Yes. All right, now let's talk about our team. Because our team's like a whole nother job trying to take care of them, right? And so I was telling somebody, it's like we have two full-time jobs. One is taking care of our own business, and one is taking care of our team and their business. So let's put a whole category of what we want to do for our teams, right? Well, we need to share information with them. And so that would be post or whatever that we're posting on our team page, whether it's motivation or recognition or whatever, that needs to be a line item in your calendar. It doesn't necessarily have to be, I would say maybe once a week would be good to do that, because then you can say every Friday, I'm going to go in, I'm going to check the team stats. I'm going to see who qualified, who hit the sales reward for this month, who's hit the 15, whatever it is you want to recognize. Do it the same day every week. Right? And don't spend a lot of time. Give it a 30-minute window of going in, checking the stats, and posting the stats. I don't know if it's 30 minutes, like that's up to you, but that's just what came to my mind. Okay. So we also want to make sure that we're given the information. How much are we putting into our team chat? Are we doing that once a day, putting something, or every other day? Do we do one-on-one coaching calls with our team members? If so, that needs to be in the group. Do we do a team training, like a personal team training? I know Melanie does, and she does a call for her org the first day of every month. So that should be on her calendar, and that's a routine. They do it every single month. Are you helping participate or lead one of our calls, our Monday night calls, or Rockstar calls, or new consultant calls? Like that needs to be in your calendar as well. And then Happy Mail. If we're sending out Happy Mail, y'all, it takes time to buy the Happy Mail, to pack the Happy Mail, to take it to the post office. It takes time to do all that. Anything else you can think of we want to do with our teams? All right. As you think of things, add them to your list. And then I want you to also, once we get off the phone, I want you to make a personal list, and a personal care list, and a family list. They could be the same if you want them to be whatever. But what time is non-negotiable to spend with my family? So maybe I plan to cook dinner for my family and sit down at the table with them distraction free from this time to this time. And then I put my little girl to bed at this time, no matter what. We have our story time or nighttime talks, whatever. Like that needs to be a non-negotiable, whatever that looks like for you. Am I taking personal time for myself? No, but I need to. So what am I doing for myself, and how am I fitting that in my calendar? Because I feel like when you're really trying to get the grasp of this, you have to write down every single thing. And y'all, I am horrible about sitting down at my desk and working all day, and it's 2:00 and I have not even stopped to eat. So do I have to write in my schedule time to eat? Yes. I know it's crazy, but I do. Do I have to write in my schedule a time to take a shower? Yes. Why? Because I'll get there, y'all know I work in my pajamas. So I will need to make it a priority. Maybe if I get up, get a shower right away, get ready, maybe I'll be more productive when I have my regular clothes on and my hair brushed and makeup, whatever makes you feel most productive. Make sure you put that in your schedule, in your day. If you need to go to the gym, if you like to go to the gym, if you like to walk, if you want to go outside and read or whatever, put that in your schedule. Because what we need to do is plan out our week, and we need to do it for multiple weeks in a row until it becomes routine to us. All right, so now that you have your list of things you want to do, when are you going to do them? And well, we talked about your most productive time of the day. So you need to have that, time allotted that is strictly going to be your business, but what's priority? So let's look through these list of things that we have to do in our personal business. And what do you feel like is the most important? What needs to be done no matter what? Like a day could not go by without doing this. What would you say it would be? Joni, I know what's going on in your brain. We ain't talking about your personal life here. We're talking about business. You're muted.
You said, think of one thing that you cannot go a day
Hot over here. Hold on.
Look at Stacy. Stacy, you do it, girl.
Stacy's right there with you. Don't blame
Well, I was
Cecilia.
going to say, Jennifer and Jessica roomed with me. They know.
Oh my.
Tony, you and Stacy got some stuff in common. I'm just saying.
We have a lot in common. We're gonna have so much fun together.
When I grow up, I want to be like them. I'm just saying.
You are.
We're gonna find your inner goddess, Jessica. All right, all
She's
right.
got it.
I'm getting. What am I doing now? I'm so sorry.
Okay, that's not on our schedule, Joni. Laughing right now is not on my schedule. Hold on, I for real got hot all of a sudden. Y'all crazy.
You know it's going on my schedule. I'm just saying. You know,
Okay.
8 p.m. is my time.
Why do you think I can't get on the nighttime calls, y'all? I'm just listening. Like, what have I got myself into?
Oh
And
my
you,
God.
Jessica and I are at home trying to pretend like we're asleep.
Oh, Lordy.
I'm
Poor
sorry.
Craig.
It's like, oh crap, put the phone up. He's coming.
And poor Jill's at work. She can't crack a laugh with us.
Kelsey can't pretend like she's blocked out, but she just had a baby, so she had that on her calendar too. Okay, quit. I'm hot. I gotta turn on the air conditioning in here. All right. So
All right.
back to work. What on your work schedule must be done every single day?
Booking shows.
Booking shows. Okay.
Well, so for me, I've already delegated my host coaching and my the person creates my parties for me.
Yeah.
So those are things I've already delegated, but the sending the messages, booking the shows, like that's something that I have to do and I have to focus on.
Yeah. So okay, what I'm going to tell you to do is look through your list of your personal business things, and I want you to put them number priority. What things are the most important that you do not need to go a day without doing? So working in your shows or sending messages or host coaching. And then you may already have some of that automated. Maybe you have host coaching on Project Broadcast, so you can mark that out, right? If you have an assistant that helps you, maybe they set up your parties, then you can mark that out. Whatever. But the things that you have to do that you have not delegated to someone else or something else like Project Broadcast, then what has to be done? And then look through that list, and whatever is not an income producing activity that will not make you money needs to go at the bottom of the list. Now, Canvas are great, and I think working in Canvas is important, like to make new pictures and new things, but that probably is something that needs to be allotted to a once a week type thing, right? Not a daily task, but a weekly task. Doing mailings should be a weekly slot, not a daily slot. Okay, so what needs to be done every single day? Maybe if you have highlighters, you could highlight the things that have to be done daily in one color, and the things that can be done weekly in a different color. And then the things that can be done, once a month, put that in a different category.
I will say I did recently do my mailing. I switched to only doing it once a month. So I do all my Happy Mail, all my host packets, everything once a month, and that's it.
Yep.
But I will say, and I know we talked about this a little bit in Annapolis, but messaging outward, but the inward messages and keeping up with those are such, I just feel bombarded, and I hate not responding to somebody within 24 hours. But when I have messages in group chats and then messages from just people,
Mhm.
And then my project broadcast, I get so overwhelmed that I'm just,
Yes. Okay, so this is my thought on that. Your incoming messages, reading and responding to those must be a daily line item, but they do not need to have a huge amount of time. So what I would think would be rational is to, in the morning, have a little bit of time that you're going to check any that came in overnight, right? And say you have, I mean, you can set priority, or do you think my Facebook ones are the most important? Do I need to do those first and then go to project broadcast and then emails, or, you know, whatever, and then scroll through the ones that came in, and out of those, which is the most important to read and address? So if there's something that's in our Italy bound group, I mean, it may not be as, it's probably, it'll be there later, right? But a customer, you need to go ahead and reply to sooner. And then, you know, like, you need to prioritize that as well. And you kind of know which chats. Sometimes we just get being goofy in chats and we're sending gifts and all this goofy stuff. That's not that important. That can wait. So when you're looking at your messages, you have 30 minutes to reply to it. Is that one that important to look at and reply to today? No, not necessarily. So I would say set a time, maybe 30 minutes in the morning, to look at and reply to, and set your timer. When that 30 minutes is over, you stop doing that and you move to your next task. And then I would have a buffer at the end of my work time that I would maybe type any loose ends of things that I didn't get done. So if I still have messages I did not reply to, I could choose to go do that, or I could choose to go and finish that Canva that I didn't get finished at my 30-minute mark, or whatever. And the same thing with reading emails, because we get a ton of emails from everywhere. I get junk emails, I get business emails, I get personal emails. So I need to set that time limit. So when I get emails, I'll browse through, say what's important to look at now, and the rest of them we're going to hold there until I have adequate time to go back and read it. And then you need to be very adamant about not replying to the dings. And I'll tell you, one of the best things I could have ever done for my business was let my team members know that I am here to help them and I want them to succeed. However, I have a lot of irons in the fire. And so I'm going to allot them this time, as between this time, I will be available to answer questions. Outside of that time, you will need to go into the group chat, the Facebook page, the Pampered Chef website. You will have to find the answer somewhere else. But during this time, I'll be available. I'll check messages and I'll reply to you. But if it's outside of that time, it'll be tomorrow at that time before I get back to you. And what you will find is that people will find the answer somewhere else. If they know that you're going to reply to them as soon as your phone dings, why would they go look for the answer somewhere else? Because Stacy's always going to answer it. Jessica's always going to tell me what the answer is, and she gets back to me right away. So why would I go searching for it when I don't have to? But Jennifer, on the other hand, I could ask her and she won't get back to me till tomorrow. So I'll just go look for it today somewhere else. And that has relieved so much stress off of me, because people, I mean, they respect my time. They know I'm busy, and they respect it more now that I have given them these team time hours. And when I put into place my that Calendly call thing, people really respect my time, because they know in order to get on the phone with me, you have to schedule a time. And if you're not available at the time you scheduled, you don't go back on my calendar right away. Like, it may be another week or 2 weeks before I have an available slot for you. So when I call them at that time, they are there. How many times have you tried to get a hold of a consultant and you call them and leave a message? They call you and leave a message, and then back and forth and back and forth. I don't have time for that. So it showed them that my time is important and I'm taking this time out of my day for you, and they respect that. It's the same thing when you set like team hours. Any questions on or suggestions or ideas on any of that?
Can you share information on what is it, Calendly?
Mhm.
Is it just calendly.com and then you
Yeah.
sign up, or?
Yep, I
Okay.
use the free version of it, and you can go in and you can set times that you are available or not available. And then like you can extend it to book out a week or 2 weeks or a month in advance or whatever. Mine rolls 2 weeks. So it'll always open up the next 2 weeks of dates. And then I have like a standard calendar. And then I try to go in on a weekly or every other week basis. And then if I have add-in calls that or other appointments or whatever, so I need to adjust time daily or weekly or whatever. And then when somebody, wants to talk, I was like, here's my Calendly thing, and I shoot it right to them, and I say, fill it out, pick a time. And then they have to register like their name, their upline, and their phone number or their recruiter, and it sends that info to me. So I get an email, anytime somebody signs up for it. One thing that I've done in the past is a lot daily focuses. So for example, Team Tuesday. So every Tuesday, my main focus, like I still have the time that I'm doing my regular show stuff, but then the bulk of my time is around team stuff. So am I going in that certain time that Tuesday and pre-scheduling the posts that are going to go on our team page? Am I going to come up with new incentives, or am I going to announce incentives that day? Am I going to do individual chats and messages, schedule phone times, whatever I want to do around my team? Maybe I'll do that every Tuesday. And then Wednesday, I don't even know any catchy name, but maybe Wednesdays, I want to think about like everything that surrounds my show experience. So would that look like every Wednesday I'm going in and I'm finding new recipes or new cooking ideas or show post or whatever? How am I going to, maybe that's a day that I work on making my template better, or I come up with ways to increase sales. Like I would be working on that idea of things. I don't know. And then Thursdays I know is my recruiting day. So I'm always going to do everything around recruiting on that day. I don't know. That's just an idea. Some people like to have day focuses, and some people are like, okay, from 1 to 2 every single day I'm doing this, and then from 2 to 3 every single day I'm doing this. So whatever works best for you, whether it's some people don't like doing the same things every single day. Some people thrive off of that. So what works better for you? As long as those important things, the top 5 that you have listed in every category, are those getting done on a regular basis. And a lot of times it's not even 5. You can't even fit 5 in every category, but one category may have 3 things that have to get done, and then another one have 2 things, and then another thing have 1. So does that make sense? I went online, and you can buy paper calendars that have like daily. I like to have the calendars that have like a month at a glance, and then also have the day at a glance. So let me turn off my stupid background thing. All right, so this has like daily, each day. So then I can write notes or things to do and check them off. So that's on my daily calendar, but you can also buy calendars that have each time. And I have this one, I just pulled off the internet, but it starts at like 8 o'clock Where the heck did I put it? I got so many buttons on this computer. All right, is this sharing my the daily calendar? So you could print these off every week or buy a calendar that has it, or you could do it in Google Calendar and then set, okay, 8 o'clock, I'm coming home from picking up the kids and I'm going to eat a quick breakfast. And then by 9 o'clock, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to work in my shows for 30 minutes. And then at 9:30, so if have it written. So I really want to challenge all of us to take some time after this call or at some point today and write down first, what are your tasks that have to be done every day, then number them by importance, and then schedule them in your calendar. So whether it's, day at a glance or the whole week or however you want to do it. And then there are some activities that you will only do once a week or once a month, but those need to go on your calendar as well. So maybe you want to print off a whole month at a glance view for your items that just need to be done on a weekly basis. So we know that we get our monthly stats on the 7th or the 10th. Is it the 7th or the 10th now that I think they're guaranteed to be updated by the 10th of the month. So that would be, the 10th would be a good day to schedule. I'm going to go in and do recognition for last month's stats every day on the 10th. And then y'all know my last day of the month, I'm not scheduling any other ridiculous stuff. Like the last day of the month is focusing on either me wrapping up my shows and my sales or helping promotions happen. Typically it's working with my team members that need help making their qualifications or promoting to director. Right. What else is something that you would do just once a month, but it's important to make sure it's on your calendar?
I don't know about once a month because I'm just looking at the list of all of us here, and I think I've learned from all of us, we're all pretty hardcore rock stars. So I think something that's done once a month, I would think that all of us aren't going to do it just once a month. I mean, I'm having a hard time thinking of something once a month because we're all doing all this stuff and getting our calendars going. But yeah, Kelsey just put in the chat, social media posts. Okay, I do that because I do the national day of the month or the national day of the year on my VIP. So that is one thing, but
yeah, that's a good thing to do once a month or even twice a month. Schedule that out. So schedule things for your VIP or, possibly one day a month would be when you're changing your template for the next month. Right. I don't mean like just work your business one day a month. I just mean like something that doesn't need that full attention of happening weekly, but would be still important. Maybe you only do your Canva stuff.
Maybe checking in with those people on your team who are inactive and you contact them, but they don't ever get back to you. So there may be someone that you're not contacting regularly because they're never getting back to you.
Yes, that's perfect, Kessa. So whether that is, y'all have seen the quick tips and clarifications that I try to share with you all once a month, so you can then send it to your team members. It just has like an overview of what's happening this month. So that would be something that I would send to those really hobby consultants, the ones that aren't on any of the calls, that aren't checking in the Facebook page. I would just give them a simple, hey, I'm here for you. How can I help you reach out? That's perfect, Kess. I'm glad that you said that. Awesome. I'm thinking all of us, including myself, just have, really have to sit down and figure out what's important and what can we eliminate. Because I find myself doing ridiculous stuff. Now, mind you, it's fun. I love looking at the tracker, the sales tracker every single day. And sometimes I catch myself doing it more than once a day to see if those numbers have changed, right? That's fun, but it's not important to do it multiple times a day or even every day. Is it important to check once a week? Absolutely. You need to make sure that your team is on track and that your team's active once a week. But more than that is just not worth the time. So I waste a lot of time going in and checking stats. So that's something I need to cross off my list. Maybe do it every other day or do it real quick in the morning and then make myself not look at it again, maybe till the evening. I don't know. Because you know, with now the trackers update in real time. So, and then orders go in at midnight. So if I look at them at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning, they're pretty much solid for that full day, right? I do find myself stopping what I'm doing and checking messages. I feel like that's our number one distraction. And I know you all said, or somebody said on here that they really want to get back to their customers within 24 hours. Absolutely. Absolutely, we want to. But do we have to message them back within 5 minutes? Is there any Pampered Chef emergency that would make me have to stop what I'm doing to reply to them right now? No.
No, I guess I just get concerned that if I don't do it right then, I'm going to forget. Even if I write it down, that list is going to get misplaced, or you know what I mean?
I do get that. And that's why I don't even open the message then. Like if it's not my time, and you all, I know you all notice sometimes I'm very active in the church, in our chat groups, and sometimes you don't see me for days. That's because the days you don't see me, I'm laser focused on not getting distracted by the dings. And then when you see me, I'm going to post for like 15 minutes. You'll see a whole lot of me, and then you don't see me again, right? Because that's my designated time to, reply to messages or do whatever. So once we do this for a couple weeks, you will see a huge difference in your business. And what I want you to do over the next few days is write down. I want you to log everything that you do. So you can look back and say, oh, well, I said I worked on my business for this amount of time, but I only got this part done. Or the whole other extreme, am I sitting and working and only doing Pampered Chef and not doing my other obligations? It really opens your eyes to because your mind may think about Pampered Chef all day long, but that doesn't mean you're working all day long, right? It's nice to see, because does anybody wonder how many hours a week you spend on Pampered Chef? Anybody wonder that? Anybody have any idea really how much you spend on Pampered Chef?
I know I spend more than when I tell new prospective consultants, because I say, oh, I just work at a couple hours a day. Bull.
But you are also a director with a decent sized team. So that's going to be different than what a new consultant would work.
Right. I also tell them when they ask about it, I say, it's with anything in life, you get out of it what you put in it.
Right. Right. So I'd love for us just to write down, just keep a little log. And like I did this one time, I would stop whenever I stopped what I was doing. I was distracted by the kids or the dog or the phone or whatever. I would just jot that time down. I'd say, okay, 1:57, I stopped. And then when I came back and I sat down, it was like 2:34. And so I just wrote it down. And then at the end of the day, I looked at the time I was really working my business, and it was not as much as I thought it was. Because even when I was up doing something else, my wheels were still turning, but I wasn't actively sitting down working. So I was very, very surprised by the number at the end of each day. And then it just kind of helped me evaluate, what do I want my business to look like and what is it really? So I think it'd be fun if we could do that. I mean, it does take, you do have to be focused and making sure that you're doing that, but it is an eye opener. I haven't done that in a long time, but I would like to. Any questions? Is that helpful for anybody? Hopefully. Good, 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 good.
Before we hang up, can we ask Jill how the wedding was?
I saw her daughter look beautiful. Somebody's
Oh.
gonna too.
Hold on. Oh,
Oh,
crap,
she in
that was
trouble
bad
now.
timing. Sorry, Jill.
It's okay. It was beautiful. It was a great wedding. Lots of fun. Katie was beautiful. All the girls were beautiful.
Good.
No,
You needed
no
like a
drama,
whole station
no
after.
hitches. I could have slept for like an entire week. They are honeymooning right now. I don't know if any of you guys are friends with Katie on Facebook, but they are honeymooning right now. They just were in Paris and now they are in Barcelona.
Wow.
Wow. The whole thing was gorgeous and looked like something out of a magazine. The pictures were beautiful.
Yeah,
It was, yeah.
yeah, that's awesome. All righty, my friends. So I'm glad, hopefully this was helpful. Let's try to, share how things are going. Like, what are you trying to implement in your business? How is the time blocking working for you? And, I think, it couldn't hurt, right? So let's try this and see if it can't help keep us focused and keep us from being so frazzled all the time. All right, friends, everybody have a great day. I'll chat with you soon.
Bye.
Bye, girls.